Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. The weekend is here, thank God. Well, a few more hours, but hell, it's Friday, so what do you think? Hope you're having a great day. Hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Down here, kind of gloomy. It's supposed to be raining this whole weekend, but hey, good weekend to sit inside, at least down here, watch college basketball and baseball. Got some news items and stuff to go over. A lot of crazy things have happened this week. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we start, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. All right, let's get to some of this news. A lot of coaches getting fired and stepping down here this week. Start off some baseball news. Unfortunately, Texas Tech freshman pitcher Brady Trombello out for the season. During a workout a couple weeks ago, he got hit in the head with a line drive, I think, off the bat. He was actually in the hospital for a couple of weeks. Finally got out, but, man, because of that, he's going to miss the rest of the season. So, Brady, man, hope you get well soon. Hope you can get back and get back to it. Texas A&M, my Texas A&M Aggies, they decided they want a new athletic director, so they hired, this blew me away totally. Hey, your sun's coming out, all right. They hired Trev Alberts from Nebraska as their new AD down there over in College Station, just right up the road here. I wasn't sure how I felt about this, with the whole Scott Frost thing and a couple other things. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those wait-and-see type of things. The governor of Nebraska, though, he's pissed and he blames the University of Nebraska leadership for Trev Alberts leaving and coming to A&M. So I guess we'll see how all that works out. All right, here we go. Here comes the list. Louisville, they fired head coach Kenny Payne. He was 12-52 there. $8 million buyout. Lost in the first round of the ACC tournament this year. St. Louis is expected to fire Travis Ford, their head coach, after 8 seasons. Vanderbilt fires North Carolina and NBA legend Jerry Stackhouse after 5 seasons. He just signed an extension before the season started, so he's probably going to have a major buyout. Vanderbilt's going to be shelling out some money. Should be a problem for them. They got a lot of money. Stanford, they fired Jared, how do you say his name? Jared Haas, after 8 seasons. Less than 10 minutes after they lost to Washington State in the Pac-12 tournament. Loses, shakes hands, congratulates players. I guess on the way to the locker room, hey, you're not coming back, see ya. Don't know if he had to find his own way back to Palo Alto, but I don't know. DePaul, they hired former Ohio State coach Chris Holtmann as their new head coach. And Justin Hutson, he is stepping down as head coach from Fresno State after 6 seasons. It's going to be interesting to see what else other changes schools make here in the next few weeks. All right, so we're going to review everything that happened this week. We're going back to Monday. West Coast semifinals, number 17 Gonzaga beat 23-10 San Francisco, 89-77. That was a 1-point game at halftime. Gonzaga's Hickman, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. They shot 51% from the field. They made 11 three-pointers in that game. San Francisco, they only shot 46% from the field. Number 21, St. Mary's beat Santa Clara, 20-13, 79. Santa Clara, who was 20-13, 79-65. St. Mary's 54% from the field. Forbes had 18 points. Dukas had 21 points for St. Mary's. CAA semifinals, 26-7. Charleston beat 20-14 Towson, 61-56. No player on either team scored more than 16 points in that game. 20-14 Stony Brook beat 20-13 Hofstra, 63-59. Southland second round, Lamar beat New Orleans, 71-57. 3 New Orleans players with a high score in this game. Their points, 10 points each. That's not going to get it done. And it didn't get it done, as you can see. Let's see here. Where are we at? Oh, Nichols. They beat Texas A&M Commerce, 72-51. Nichols shot 56% from the field. Texas A&M Commerce only 32% from the field. Horizon semis, 22-11. Oakland beat 20-14 Cleveland State by 3. The game was tied at 38 at the half. 2014, Milwaukee beat Northern Kentucky 82-57. Northern Kentucky actually led that game by 7 at halftime. Sun Belt Championship, 31-3. James Madison beat 18-6 Arkansas State, 91-71. James Madison's Brown, 21 points, 10 rebounds. He hit 5 3-pointers in that game. Edwards behind him, 19 points, 4 rebounds. They hit 11 total 3-pointers in that game. 63% off from the field, 15 points off of turnovers. They had 14 more points in the paint. Arkansas State's Hicks, he led the way, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Ford and Nelson behind him, they had 12 points each. They only shot 36% from the field. 22 for 29, though, from the free throw line, so it wasn't all bad. And they had less fouls than James Madison. But James Madison, your Sun Belt champions. SoCon Championship, 29-5 Samford. They beat 19-16 East Tennessee State, 76-69. Samford's Acor, 25 points, 9 rebounds. He hit 11 for 14 from the free throw line. Marshall behind him, 23 points, 8 rebounds. They shot 43% from the field, 68% from the free throw line, 16 points off of turnovers. For East Tennessee State, Asamoah led the way, 18 points, followed by Peterson. He had 17 points. They shot 41% from the field. They did have more rebounds, but didn't help them. 53 total fouls in that game. Summit League semis, 21-12 South Dakota State beat 20-13 St. Thomas, Minnesota, 59-49. Jackrabbits, 44% from the field. St. Thomas shot 33% from the field. 17-16, Denver beat 15-18 Omaha by 3. Bruner for Denver, 23 points in that game. They hit 10 3-pointers and 16 points off of turnovers in that game. Big Sky Quarters, 15-17 Montana State beat 20-12 Weber State, 91-82. Weber actually led by 9 at halftime. Montana State's Ford III, he had 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. They shot 55% from the field, hit 13 3-pointers, 19 points off of turnovers. Weber State's Treat, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. They shot 49% from the field. They also had a good 3-point game, though. They hit 10 of them. And they got 17 more. They got 17 points off of turnovers, but just wasn't enough for them. Next one, 22-10, Montana beat 17-15, Portland State by 6. Moody for Montana, 27 points. They shot 51% from the field. They were 22 for 30 from the free throw line. They had less rebounds, but they did have more assists, had less points in the paint. Did get 12 points off of turnovers. Beat Portland. Portland was led by Allen, 28 points, 15 rebounds. They shot 41% from the field, 21 for 29 from the free throw line. They had 14 points off of rebound or off of turnovers, 13 more rebounds, but they lost. Set up a Montana State championship game, which we'll go over that in a minute. But man, that game was like at 10:30 at night. I was like, man, y'all got to do something about this. People got to work. But anyway, no baseball upsets. Softball, number 10 Alabama beat number 13 Florida 3-0. Bama's Dowling solo home run. Giles had an RBI single. Moving to Tuesday, West Coast Conference Championship. St. Mary's won the West Coast Conference Championship. Beat Gonzaga 69-60. Mahaney for St. Mary's, 23 points. Hit 5 3-pointers. Saxon behind him, 19 points, 15 rebounds. St. Mary's, 47% from the field. 15 for 22 from the free throw line. They had 39 rebounds, 4 less fouls than Gonzaga. Gonzaga was led by Watson, 18 points, 7 rebounds. Nemhard behind him, 13 points, 11 rebounds. They shot 44% from the field, 10 for 14 from the free throw line. They had a total of 22 rebounds. Atlantic 10, first round. Fordham beat Davidson, 71-63 in overtime. LaSalle beat George Washington by 1. George Washington actually led by 7 at halftime. St. Louis beat Rhode Island by 3. Big 12 first round. Central Florida beat Oklahoma State 77-62. Central Florida 17 points off of turnovers. What the hell has happened to Oklahoma State basketball? Cincinnati beat West Virginia by 5. ACC first round. NC State beat Louisville 94-85. NC State 22 points off of turnovers. Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech by 4. Moving on, Boston College beat Miami 81-65. Boston College hit 11 three-pointers in that game. American East semis, Vermont beat New Hampshire 66-59. Game was pretty much won in the first half because both those teams scored 35 in the second half. UMass Lowell beat Bryant 77-70. MAAC first round, Confucius beat St. Mary's 77-61. Iona beat Manhattan by 3. Niagara beat Siena by 2. Southland semis, McNeese beat Lamar 76-57. McNeese, I watched this game. McNeese controlled the whole game. Wells had 27 points. They were just brilliant from start to finish. Nichols beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi 81-73 in overtime. CAA championship game. Charleston, they are your CAA champions. Beat Stony Brook 82-79 in overtime. Smith led the way for Charleston. 23 points. 23 points. 4 others had double-digit points for Charleston. 43% from the field. Hit 13 three-pointers in this one. More rebounds, more assists, more points in the paint. Stony Brook, 43% from the field. They did have 4 players in double-digit points in that one. Horizon Championship. Oakland, they are your Horizon Championship. They're your Horizon champions. Beat Milwaukee 83-76. Towson for Oakland, 38 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He hit 14 for 18 from the free throw line. They are 44% from the field. Milwaukee's Pret, 16 points. They were also 44% from the field. Northeastern Conference Championship. Wagner beats Merrimack 54-47. Wagner's Allen, 22 points, 7 rebounds. They shot 45% from the field. They have more rebounds and more points in the paint than Merrimack. Also had less fouls. Merrimack, Savage, leading scorer. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds. They did score 20 points off of turnovers, but it really didn't help them too bad. Big Sky semis. Or, hang on a second. Hang on. Did I get mixed up here? No, guess I did. All right, Big Sky semis. Montana State beat Sacramento State by 3. Montana State's Ford, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 for 3. Or he had 4 3-pointers. They hit a total of 11 3-pointers in that game. Montana beat Idaho, 72-58. Montana's Thomas, 21 points. They shot 55% from the field. Idaho State shot 44%. I got mixed up for some reason. Conference USA, first round. Florida International beat Jacksonville State, 76-67. Jacksonville State actually led by 4 at halftime. Summit Championship. South Dakota State beat Denver, 76-68. 5 players for the Jackrabbits, double-digit points. They shot 46% from the field, hit 4 3-pointers. They have more rebounds, more assists, more points in the paint than Denver. Denver shot 38% from the field. They hit 11 3-pointers. South Dakota State, your Summit champions, and also the women's team, the women Jackrabbits, they won their conference championship too. Baseball upsets. Rider beat number 6 Duke 6-2. Number 16 Coastal Carolina beat number 7 Wake Forest 17-9. Florida State beat number 8 Florida 12-8. I actually watched this game. Florida State came out on fire. I swear Florida used every one of their pitchers in the first 3 innings. I mean, it was just crazy. But they did make a comeback, but still they lost 12-8. Number 12 TCU beat number 19 Dallas Baptist 9-6. Southern Miss beat number 14 Alabama 9-7. Softball, number 2 LSU beat number 3 Texas 7-4. Wednesday, Big 12, second round. Cincinnati beat number 16 Kansas by 20. Cincinnati, 17 points off of turnovers. They also have more rebounds. Skillings led the way, 25.7 rebounds. Adams Jr. led the way for the Jayhawks, 22 points. He was the only KU player that had double-digit points in that game. Kansas is just a crazy team this year. They look like they're going to mow over everybody, and then they lose games. Start mowing again, then they lose games. So how are they going to do in this conference or in this tournament? That's going to be crazy. Number 20, BYU beat Central Florida 87-73. BYU shot 47% from the field. They hit 14 3-pointers in that game. 21-11 TCU beat 20-12 Oklahoma by 7. TCU, 20 points off of turnovers. Miller led the way, 26 points, 8 rebounds. 19-13, Kansas State beat 20-12 Texas by 4. UT led by 10 at halftime. Just let it get away from them. 5 players for the Wildcats had double-digit points. Atlantic 10, second round. 20-12 St. Joseph's beat 20-12 George Mason, 64-57. 20-12 VCU beat Fordham by 7. St. Bonaventure beat LaSalle by 2. 21-11 Duquesne beat St. Louis by 10. ACC second round. Florida State beat Virginia Tech by 10. 20-12 Wake Forest beat Notre Dame 72-59. Notre Dame only shot 29% from the field in that game. 19-14 NC State beat 20-12 Syracuse 83-65. Close game. 3-point game at the half, and then NC State ran away with it. 19-14 Boston College beat 21-11 Clemson 76-65. BC pretty much controlled this game. They were up by 12 at half. BC's been a surprise in this ACC tournament. I didn't really figure they would get as far as they have, but they've played a hell of a tournament. AAC first round, Wichita State beat Rice by 7. Temple beat UTSA by 3. Mountain West first round, Fresno State beat Wyoming by 4. 23-9 Colorado State beat San Jose State by 10. 23-9 New Mexico beat Air Force 82-56. New Mexico 19-point lead at halftime. SWAC quarterfinals, Alabama A&M beat Alcorn State 75-63. Grambling beat Alabama State by 6. Pac-12, their last conference tournament, first round. USC beat Washington 80-74. Huskies actually played a hell of a game in the first half and part of the second half. They led by 5 at halftime. USC somehow overpowered them. UCLA beat Oregon State by 10. Stanford beat Cal 87-76 in overtime. Stanford outscored Cal 18-7 in overtime. That was back in the better days when their coach was doing good and had a job. Utah beat Arizona State 90-57. Utah led by 25 points at halftime. They hit 12 three-pointers in this game. Big East first round. Xavier beat Butler. Big East has been kind of a crazy tournament. Xavier beat Butler 76-72. Providence beat Georgetown 74-56. Georgetown ends their season 9-23. Georgetown used to be a hell of a basketball program. If you don't remember, or if you're too young, they had a hell of a basketball program. I don't know what the hell's happened there. Villanova beat DePaul by 1. Southland Championship, McNeese beats Nichols 92-76. Wells for McNeese, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 12 for 13 from the free throw line. McNeese shot 61% from the field. They hit 11 three-pointers, 72% from the free throw line, 15 points off of turnovers. Nichols, Smith led the way. Not a bad game for him. 33 points, 4 rebounds. He hit 5 three-pointers in this one. They shot 49% from the field. They hit 10 three-pointers, 84% from the free throw line. They did have more rebounds, but they also had more fouls. McNeese, pretty good game. They dominated the first half, led by 16 at halftime. Both teams, though, really stepped it up. They each scored 44 in the second half. Guys on TV made a pretty good statement. Whoever gets McNeese in that first round is going to have a hell of a game on their hands, and McNeese wins and moves on. It's just these teams are going to keep running into McNeese. McNeese is a good team. I'm not saying they're going to the Elite 8 or Final 4, but I think they can make a pretty good run in the tournament. I mean, they're great offense, great defense. I want to see how they do against some of these big boys in the country. MEAC quarters. Norfolk State beat Coppin State 75-51. North Carolina Central beat Maryland Eastern Shore by 6. Big Ten first round. Maryland beat Rutgers 65-51. Maryland 14-point lead at halftime. Both scored 29 points in the second half. Penn State beat Michigan 66-57. Michigan, another team. What the hell happened to them? They end their season 8-24. MAAC quarterfinals. Quinnipiac beat Kansas 76-52. Fairfield beat Iona by 5. That was actually a 3-point game at halftime, but Fairfield scored 14 points off of turnovers. Conference USA quarterfinal. Sam Houston beat Florida International 78-59. 5 Sam Houston players have double-digit points. 14-8 Middle Tennessee beat Louisiana Tech, who was 22-10, 70-67. The game, all the categories were close, but it looks like it came down to see, but it looks like it came down to free throws. Middle Tennessee hit 19 free throws. La Tech only hit 12. So maybe that was it. Patriot Championship. Colgate beat 14-8 Lehigh, 74-55. Colgate's Cummins, 19 points, 4 rebounds. They shot 56% from the field, hit 4 3-pointers, 10 for 16 from the free throw line. They did have more rebounds and assists. Lehigh's Whitlock, leading scorer, but he came off the bench to do it, 17 points. Next highest scores for Lehigh, 7 points each. 37% from the field. They hit 5 3-pointers, but only 4 for 9 from the free throw line. SEC first round. Arkansas beat Vanderbilt by 5 in overtime. Then Vanderbilt gets rid of their newly extended coach. Georgia beat Missouri 64-59. 1-point game at halftime. Missouri's another one. What the hell happened to their basketball program? Big West first round. UC Riverside beat Cal State Bakersfield 83-78. Cal State Northridge beat UC Santa Barbara 87-84 in overtime. WAC first round. Cal Baptist beat Utah Valley 74-63 in overtime. Cal Baptist, they outscored Utah Valley 14-3 in that overtime period. Stephen F. Austin beat Cross State. I'm not going to say rival because I don't think they're rivals, but beat Cross Texas team Abilene Christian 60-57. Big Sky Championship on late at night for some dumbass reason, but hey. Anyway, Montana State Bobcats beat their rival, the Montana Grizzlies, 85-70. Actually, a 6-point game at halftime. Ford the third for the Bobcats, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. They shot 50% from the field, 6 for 23 from the three-point line, 15 for 22 from the free throw line. They scored 20 points off of turnovers. Vasquez from Montana, leading scorer, 20 points, 6 rebounds. He hit 4 3-pointers. Montana shot 45% from the field. They hit 6 3-pointers, and they were 16 for 22 from the free throw line. Baseball. UConn beat number 22 UC Irvine 5-0. UConn 10 hits in that game. UC Irvine just 2. Softball. Sacramento State beat number 6 Stanford 3-2. Not a good week for Stanford. But they did come back and win the second game, 6-0 in that doubleheader. Charlotte beat number 12 Va-Tech 8-4. Number 15 Alabama beat number 18 Florida State 4-1. Going to yesterday, Thursday. Big 12 quarters. Number 1 Houston beat 21-12 TCU 60-45. Houston led by 16 at half. Leading scorer Sharp 14 points. They hit 40% from the field. TCU's leading scorer was Peavy, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 23% from the field, 2 for 20 on 3-point shooting. Both defenses kept the other offense in check. Very defensive game. Number 7, Iowa State beat Kansas State 76-57. Iowa State, 46% from the field, and they did it with only 1 3-point shot the whole game. They did get 23 points off of turnovers, so... Number 14, Baylor beat Cincinnati 68-56. Cincinnati led this game by 2 at halftime. Baylor, nice free throw shooting, 19 for 22 in that one. Number 25, Texas Tech beat number 20, BYU 81-67. Isaacs for Texas Tech, 22 points, followed by McMillan, 17 points, 8 rebounds. They hit 9 3-pointers in this game. BYU, double-digit points, came from the bench. Robinson had 18, Traore had 13, Saunders had 12, starters, they didn't hit any double-digit points. I believe that sets up Houston and Texas Tech today or tomorrow, so that should be a really good game. Big East quarterfinals, number 2 UConn beat Xavier 87-60, 1-point game at halftime. UConn then came back, outscored them 53-27 in the second half. 21-12 Providence beat number 8 Creighton by 5. Providence had 6 more fouls than Creighton. Close game all the way, though. Number 10 Marquette beat Villanova 71-65 in overtime. Marquette hit 10 3-pointers and only had 5 turnovers in this game. St. John's beat Seton Hall 91-72. St. John's, 5 players in double-digit points, 22 points off of turnovers, 42 points in the paint. ACC quarters, number 4 North Carolina beat Florida State 92-67. North Carolina grabbed 48 rebounds. They were 34 for 65 shooting from the field. North Carolina State beat number 11 Duke by 5. Wolfpack had 6 less fouls than Duke, and they had more points in the paint. Pitt beat Wake Forest 81-69. Pitt's Liggett, 30 points, 8 rebounds. Hinson, 20 points and 4 3-pointers. Virginia beat Boston College by 6 in overtime. And Boston College, like we said, been playing good ball. They were actually up by 6 at halftime. Pac-12 quarters, number 6 Arizona beat USC 70-49. USC only shot 36% from the field. Arizona shot 46%, and they had 16 points off of turnovers. Number 22 Washington State beat Stanford 79-62. 6 Washington State players had double-digit points. Stanford's coach walks off the floor and gets fired within a few minutes. Oregon State beat UCLA by 2. UCLA better in shooting from the field, three-pointing, and free throw shooting, but Oregon did have less turnovers in this game. Colorado beat Utah 72-58. That was a 3-point game at halftime. Utah's highest scores, 2 of them, and they had 13 points. Utah's another one you could throw in there. What the hell happened to your basketball program? Because they used to be a pretty damn good basketball team. SEC second round, number 15 South Carolina beat Arkansas 80-66. That was a 3-point game at halftime. South Carolina 32 for 61 from the field. Arkansas, man, they played some teams tough there towards the end of the season. Mississippi State beat LSU by 10. LSU led by 7 at halftime. Another 2023 LSU second half collapse, and it happens in the tournament, in the conference tournament. A&M beat Ole Miss again, 80-71. They just beat them last Saturday at home there in Oxford. Florida beat Georgia by 5. Gators Clayton Jr., 22 points, 4 rebounds. Samuel, 17 points, 15 rebounds. Mountain West quarters, number 18 Utah State beat Fresno, 87-75 in overtime. Utah State outscored Fresno in that overtime period, 17-5. 24-9 Colorado State beat number 23 Nevada, 85-78. 5 players for Colorado State in double-digit points. They shot 50% from the field, and they had 23 points off of turnovers. Nevada, 3 players in double-digit points. They shot 48% from the field. San Diego State beat UNLV by 3 in overtime. Leedy for San Diego State, 34 points, 16 rebounds, including the game winner in overtime. UNLV, you could probably throw on that list of what the hell happened to your basketball program, because they were a good basketball program at one time. And not that far either within the last 20, 25 years. New Mexico, they beat Boise State by 10. House for New Mexico, 29 points. They had 20 more points in the paint, and they had 5 less fouls than Boise. Atlantic 10 quarters, 22-11 Duquesne beat number 24 Dayton, 65-57. Clark the third for Duquesne, 16 points. Holmes the second for Dayton, 24 points, 13 rebounds. Duquesne better from the field, better from the free throw line, more rebounds, more points in the paint. Dayton did have less fouls, but still that didn't help them out. 21-12 St. Joseph's beat Richmond, who was 23-9 by 5. Reynolds for St. Joseph's, 30 points. VCU beat UMass 73-59. VCU had more rebounds, more assists, 19 points off turnovers, and more points in the paint. St. Bonaventure beat Loyola Chicago by 1 in 2 overtimes. Banks the third for St. Bonaventure, 22 points. Matt Quarters, 16-6. Kent State beat 20-12 Toledo in 67-59. Kent State's Davis, 26 points, 12 rebounds. They shot 45% from the field. Toledo only shot 39%. Bowling Green beat Central Michigan by 10. Central Michigan actually led this game by 2 points at halftime. Akron beat Miami of Ohio, 75-63. Ohio beat Western Michigan, 82-55. And rounding out, Big Ten, second round, Michigan State beat Minnesota by 10. Gophers led by 2 at halftime. Wisconsin beat Maryland 87-56. Blackwell for Wisconsin came off the bench, 18 points. Ohio State beat Iowa 90-78. That late season push that Iowa, remember those good teams they were beating? So they had a good tournament. That all ends. I want to say they were 18-14, something like that. Man, I don't think they're going to get in. But like we've seen, these guys, these big yahoos at the head of the tournament committee, you know, they put teams in that have no business being there, and they leave teams out that are good teams every year or so. Hey, if you're an Iowa fan, there's hope because a lot of those guys are really dumb in that room. Indiana beat Penn State 61-59. AAC second round, East Carolina beat Tulsa 84-79. 15-8 Wichita State. 15-18 Wichita State beats 22-10 Memphis by 6. Wichita State 47% from the field. Memphis only 36% from the field. North Texas beat Tulane by 10. 14-19 Temple beat 20-12 SMU by 15. Temple 52% from the field. SMU only 39%. Temple grabbed 17 points off of turnovers. The SWAC quarters. Texas Southern beat Jackson State 73-62. Bethune-Cookman beat Southern 73-58. The MEAC quarter. Howard beat Morgan State 78-65. Delaware State beat South Carolina State 71-58. MAAC quarters. Marist beat Niagara by 6. Niagara led by 12 at halftime and blew it. St. Peter's beat Rider by 2. Conference USA quarters. UTEP beat Liberty 61-57 or 66-57. I think that's what I have written down. Western Kentucky beat New Mexico State by 20. Big West quarters. Hawaii, looking a good team, beat Cal State Northridge 75-68. Long Beach State beat UC Riverside 86-67. And the WAC quarterfinals. Seattle beat Cal Baptist 81-57. UT Arlington beat Stephen F. Austin 109-78. Baseball, softball, no upsets yesterday. Today, actually, they're starting right now. Who is it? Michigan State. I think Michigan State and Purdue starting at 11. It might be 11 right now. But good games today, good games tomorrow. Usually ends with the Big Ten Championship on Sunday because they go right from that into Selection Sunday show. Great weekend for basketball, baseball, and softball too. Enjoy it. Have fun. We will be back probably on Monday to wrap up everything and go over the seeding and the tournament and all that. So have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay busy so the rest of the day goes by fast. We'll see you next time.